Right, we're on like take 4 here. Sitting up nice and tall. It's beginning to settle in. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to have a shorter practice that's going to focus on twisting. And we're just going to be looking at how a physical practice can shift your mental perspective and how your mental perspective can shift your reality. So we'll start by letting all the air out of the lungs, and a nice big breath in fills you up. Open mouth, exhale, lets it go. Again, in through the nose, from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Find that breath. And open mouth, exhale, softens that out. And one more here, breath in. This one, go ahead, zip those lips, draw your chin in towards your throat, and just sit with that expansiveness. You're here for 3. You're in and out through the nose in 2. Breath in. Nope, 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 it's in and in. And then chin comes off the chest, open mouth, exhale, lets it go, breath out. And from that space, we'll let those arms rise up. And on your exhale, go ahead, take one hand down, let the other arm reach up and soften shoulders, lift through the heart in 3. You're in and out through the nose here in 2. Breath in. And breath out. We'll inhale, take that hand down towards the top of the mat and let both of those arms rise. And on the exhale, other hand softens down, other arm is reaching up. Side body stretch 3. In and out through the nose, gaze goes up, maybe the chin goes up in 2. Breath in, and on an exhale, let that arm reach out over the top there. And inhale, arms are rising. Exhale, go ahead, interlace those fingers and palms up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale here. Exhale, tailbone towards the heels, chin to the chest. And then while tailbone reaches out, arms reach up. And exhale, hollow it out. So you're finding your cat-cow here. One more time, breath in. And breath out. On an inhale, we'll take that back up. And on your exhale, left hand's outside of that right thigh as gaze goes behind you. 3. In and out through the nose here in 2. Long in the spine as you breathe in. Go ahead and soften into that twist as you breathe out. On your inhale, we'll bring that all the way back up. And on an exhale, just take it to the other side. Other hand outside of that thigh. Other hand is reaching behind you. Gaze goes behind you for 3. Shoulders are soft in and out through the nose in 2. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale, go ahead, reach those arms, take your gaze up. And on your exhale, find yourself in your tabletop. We'll take the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees will be underneath the hips. You've got 3 rounds here. Tailbone goes up, tops of those shins, tops of those feet reach down. On the exhale, hollow out the belly, draw the chin towards the chest. Spreading the fingers wide, shoulders melt open, lifting through that heart space. And on the exhale, tailbone towards heels, low ribs soften in, the chin is to the chest. You're using the earth beneath you there. Again, breath in, heart space is open. And on the exhale, we'll go ahead and just hollow that out. On your inhale, bring it back up into your tabletop. And on your exhale, tuck the toes and go ahead, push it back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And breath out. Big inhale. And complete exhale. On your inhale, bring that back into a plank pose. Slide the shoulders over the wrist. Option to soften those knees down for more support. If you need it, you're here for 3. Reaching palms towards toes. Shoulders are away from the ears. Belly softens in. Tailbone towards heels in 2. Breath in, and on the exhale, the knees will soften down. The chin and the chest will follow. Belly softens towards the earth. Go ahead and float those palms and lift that heart space up. 3. Backside of the neck is long here in 2. Exhale, the hands are going to come down. The head is going to stay down. We'll let those legs rise up. Do not bend knees. 3. Through the nose in 2. Awake and alive. Breath in. On the exhale, the hands are down. The feet are down. Inhale, lift up through that heart space. And on your exhale, go ahead and push those hips back towards those heels. On your inhale, bring yourself back up into your tabletop. And on your exhale, go ahead, push it back, downward facing dog. From that space, begin to walk those feet towards the top of your mat. Once you get up there, you can grab those elbows and hang. You'll just nod the head, yes. You'll nod the head, no. Shift the weight a little forward to the front part of the foot, other forearm underneath. Same, but slightly different as you just nodded out. Yes. Yeah. Inner thighs spiral back towards walls behind you here. Inner arches, inner ankles awake and alive. 3. Where's that breath? Big inhale. Bending the knees as much as you need to, or maybe playing with straight legs, bent knees. Release hands down towards the earth. We'll bring a little bit of bend into the knees, and you can just start to re-articulate that spine all the way up to standing. From that space, take the shoulders up towards the ears, soften them down the back. Big toes come to touch, and we're at the tops of our mats. Palms are at your sides. I just realized I need to move the camera back, so excuse me while I do that. A little better. On your inhale, arms are rising. On your exhale, go ahead, forward fold, Uttanasana. On that inhale, find that halfway lift. On your exhale, go ahead, plant your hands, step your left leg back. Soften left knee down, let the arms rise up. And on your exhale, find little cactus arms. Those elbows soften towards ribs. We'll inhale, rising. Exhale, nice little cactus arms. Inhale takes you up. And exhale, go ahead and soften those elbows down. Take a deep breath in, arms rise up. On the exhale, left hand goes forward, right hand goes back in 3. You're in and out through the nose here too. Big breath in. On the exhale, left hand reaches down, right arm is rising. You're going to take this right foot, start to crawl it towards the back of your mat. Pinky side edge of that foot goes down, or you can float that leg, dorsiflex those toes. You're reaching through right heel in 3. Smooth and silky with that breath in 2. Breath in. On an exhale, plant both of those hands. On your inhale, left arm's gonna rise up. And on an exhale, left hand slides underneath right armpit. Right arm can crawl out towards top of the mat. Shoulders soften in 3. In and out through the nose in 2. Breath in. And breath out. Go ahead, plant both of those hands. Find your plank. Reach through the heels, draw the palms towards the toes in 3. In and out in 2. We'll soften right elbow down. Soften left elbow down. Reach and breathe. Elbows reach back towards toes in 2. Breath in. And breath out. We'll soften the belly down. Elbows are underneath the shoulders as the tops of the toes reach back through the heart. Breathe. And then from that space, tuck your toes, juice up your legs, forearm plank. Left hand goes down, right hand comes down, plank, plank. Exhale, push it back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Left leg is going to rise as we breathe in. On the exhale, slide it through. Find the top of your mat. Anjani Asana as right knee rolls forward and left heel reaches back. Breath in. Exhale, cactus. Those arms. Inhale, arms are rising. Exhale, nice cactus. Inhale takes you up. And exhale softens that out. We'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand goes forward, left hand goes back. 3. You're through the nose here in 2. Breath in. On the exhale, right hand goes down, left hand comes high. There's that twist that will move into Vajrasana variation as we slide that front foot back. Pinky side edge of the foot is down, or you're floating it up in 3. In and out through the nose here, 2. Juice in that back leg, whether the foot is on the earth or floating. Breath in. On the exhale, plant both of those hands from that space. Inhale, right arm reaches up. And on the exhale, right arm slides underneath that left shoulder. Soften through the hips, lift through the heart. 3. Backside body spacious, smooth with breath. In and out through the nose in 2. Inhale. And exhale. And then from that space, plant both of those hands. Bring it back into your downward facing dog. Big inhale. Complete exhale, breath in. And breath out. On an inhale, rise way up high to toes. Bend those knees. Gaze goes out in front. Exhale, step or hop. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, surrender into the folds. We'll inhale, root down as we rise up. Big open heart takes you up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Moving into Utkatasana. Weight is in those heels. Arms are reaching up. Maybe you float those toes. Exhale, cactus those arms. Inhale takes you long. Exhale, little cactus. Connect through that midline there in the low belly. Breath in. And breath out. We'll inhale, take it long. Exhale, fold it out. Inhale, lengthen through that spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Right foot steps back. On your inhale, crescent warrior, we will rise for 3. That's it. In and out through the nose, 2. A big inhale here. Exhale, right hand goes forward, left hand goes back. Inhale, bring it back towards your center. Exhale, open up to the left. And inhale, bring it back towards your center. Last time, take it over to your left. And then stay here. Option to drop that right knee down here in 3. In and out through the nose, 2. Breath in. On an exhale, windmill those arms up and around, heel to arch alignment as you gaze out over those fingers in 3. In and out through the nose, 2. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale finds peace, left arms rising. And on the exhale, we'll windmill those hands down and around. Right hand goes down, left hand comes high, big twist through. We're going to move this into Vajrasana, in and out through the nose in 2. Breath in, pinky side edge of right foot goes down, left foot stacks on top. Up, 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 and away. 3. Dorsiflex those toes in 2. And on the exhale, plant both the hands. Inhale here, exhale. Connecting the dots, 3. In 2, we'll take right forearm down. We'll take left forearm down. Reach and breathe, 3. In 2, knees soften down, tops of the toes, heart lifts, 3. You're going to take those hands and take them out towards the corners of your mat in 2. And then lift up through your heart here. Oh, yeah. Breath in. And breath out. We'll soften those forearms back down, line those hands back up with elbows. Big breath in, tuck your toes, juice up the legs, forearm plank. And then right hand where right elbow was, left hand where left elbow was. Big breath in here. Exhale, push it back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale. And exhale. Your right leg will rise as you breathe in. On the exhale, slide it through. Find the top of your mat. From that space, crescent warrior, we're rising. On your exhale, find those cactus arms. Inhale brings you up. Exhale, little cactus arms. Inhale, we're rising. And exhale, cactus arms. Take a big breath in here. Left hand goes forward, right hand comes back in 3. Back towards middle, in. Open out to the side in 2. Last one here. Inhale brings you up. And exhale, take it out to the side. Take a big breath in here. 3. Through the nose in 2. Big inhale, we'll open up. Nice Virabhadrasana 2. Heel to arch alignment, gaze out over those fingers. Inner arch of that back foot, awake and alive. 3. And 2. Inhale, peaceful warrior, right arms rising. And on the exhale, windmill, hands down and around. Left hand comes down, right hand comes high. This goes into Vajrasana. Breath in. And breath out. We'll inhale here. Exhale, pinky side edge. Up with the hips in 3. And 2. And on the exhale, press it back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale. And exhale. From that space on an inhale, rise way up high to the balls of the feet. On the exhale, you're going to step or hop those feet wide onto your mat. Heels are in, toes are out. Yogi squat. Hands come to the hips, heart lifts. Or hands come to your heart, hip sink, heart lift. 3. And 2. Big breath in. And complete breath out. You'll reach through the arms and go ahead, sit down. Ee-yi-yi. And then from that space, feet are going to be nice and wide here. We'll take a big inhale here. On the exhale, drop those knees over to the right. Breath in. And exhale, fold over that right shin in 3. Through the nose, 2. Exhale. Breath out. Inhale, let the arms rise back up. Exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale here. And exhale, soften for 3. Through the nose in 2. Deep inhale. And complete exhale. And then you're going to inhale, bring it back towards your center. From that space, feet are going to be hip width apart. Fingertips will come towards the bum. And your inhale, arms are rising, or hips are rising. Arms press down, feet reach down. 3. And 2. Breath in. And breath out. Go ahead, soften those hips back down. Legs are nice and long here. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward, fold for 3. Yeah. Maybe the hands just soften on either side of the leg. Maybe you've got a block and you can grab your hands around that block wherever you're at. Heart is melting towards toes and feet. And 2. Breath in. And breath out. And from that space, Gently start to release those hands or reach through those arms and release yourself all the way down into your back. Mhm. Hands come beside the hips. Feet walk in so they're hip width apart. Maybe your fingers can touch your heels. And from that space, hips will rise up. We'll walk those shoulders underneath us, interlace fingers, and send the shins towards the collarbone area towards the back of the mat in 3. That's it. And 2. Breath in. And breath out. And then go ahead, soften those hips down. Draw the knees up and towards the chest. Outside edges of the feet are handles as you roll left and right, massaging low back, massaging mid back, massaging upper back. And then with the knees together, arms will come out to the sides. One final twist as the knees soften to your right. Gaze goes over your shoulder. 3. And 2. Inhale, bring that back towards your middle. Exhale, take it to the other side. And 3. Shoulder softening. And 2. Breath out. And breath out. Back towards that middle. Wrap those forearms around those shins. Draw the head up in towards the knees. And on your exhale, heels are in, toes are in. Letting yourself soften into the benefits of the practice here just for a moment. A little stillness, a little softness. Letting your body get heavy. Or laying on a bed of rice. And you're just softening into that rice, making a little imprint there. Relax. You're welcome to stay here in this space, marinating in the benefits of your practice. If you need to get going, a little bit of movement, fingers and toes, ankles and legs, and reaching and breathing through the arms and the legs. Knees come up and towards the chest, and we soften to one side. And then from that space up into a comfortable seat, sitting up nice and tall. And index fingers and thumbs. And just taking a moment, short practice, significant difference perhaps in how you feel. Our ability to change our mental landscape by changing our physical landscape is always there, and in the end, changing our reality. Empowering, taking the hands to the heart, gratitude, grace, balance, giving thanks. Namaste.